Good morning, everyone. This is Rob from the Actors Workshop, and welcome to a special edition of In the Abyss. So, as a lot of you guys know, I've been buying a lot of these older films by companies who are restoring the old films, and they do it one way or another. If they're able to restore the old film from the film itself, they scan it and then they restore it in 2K or 4K. But in some cases, if the films are older or they're hard to find or whatever, they might have to splice together by different resources, then scan, and from there they go 2K or 4K. And some of the best companies that do this are Criterion, Arrow Video, Shout Factory, Kino Lorber. Those are the main four. There's others, but as you guys know that are in class with me and listen to me speak about older movies, I love the Criterion Collection. I think they do a phenomenal job of restoring these old films, and we will at some point go through my collection, which is over 60 movies at this point, or films I'd like to call them. And we'll go through my Arrow collection, which is not as big, and part of the reason for that is that they are Region B, Europe, so you have to have a special player for that, and I'm still waiting to buy that player, but eventually I will, and then I'll probably add to my collection at that point. Shout does a really good job of doing a lot of more modern movies, meaning 70s and 80s and such. They do older films as well, but but their kind of forte seems to be that 80s mark. And then they have like a side company called Scream Factory, which kind of restores the old horror films, more like the old slasher films from the 70s and 80s. And they actually just announced the complete Friday the 13th restored box set, which already pre-ordered because it's limited to 13,000 units. But Kino is another company, and they just had a sale, and I ordered a bunch of Blu-rays and decided to do an unboxing with you guys. I haven't done that yet. I thought it'd be a good breakup between the movie years we're in right now, just a little bit of a curveball. And I got it yesterday in the mail around 11:30, and it's just been sitting on my desk staring at me for the last day. And it's kind of like a kid the day before Christmas just staring at their present, wanting to open it, but I had the discipline not to open it. I decided I would open it for this video so we can watch it together or go through the movies together. Some of them I remember that I purchased them, but other ones it'll be a surprise or a surprise reminder, if you will. But I thought it'd be neat. So let's get going with these. All right, not too difficult. Okay, so let's see what we got. All right, first one, Bela Lugosi, Invisible Ghost. I'm a huge fan of Bela Lugosi. I'm a huge fan of the Universal monster films. And what Kino's starting to do is restore some of his last films he did from, toward the end of his career. He was doing a series of films. I think there was 8 of them with a lower budget company that was kind of banking on his legacy as Dracula, etc. And this was the first of the 8. And there's some other ones that Kino has done. I'm just waiting for the price to drop, and I will get them. But this one came in at a good price on this sale, so I grabbed it. Yeah, even though the cover kind of gives you that Dracula feel and that Bela Lugosi sell, it's not really. It's kind of a little different than his typical horror films, but he carries this film. And from all accounts, from what I've read and stuff like that, the way they restored the film, it's the best it's ever going to look. So I'm excited to see it again and see it this way. And a lot of times what's cool about, if you've seen an older movie but haven't seen them restored, it's kind of like watching them for the first time again, because you start to see things more clear than they were when they were filmed. I mean, especially a film from 1941. So I'm looking forward to watching this one. All right, okay. Next up, Gene Hackman, Ann Archer, Narrow Margin. This is the only double dip that I did in this whole group of albums that movies that I purchased. And as I've been saying, I'm really trying to not do that unless I really want the film or the restoration is just too good to pass up, or the price. I really am trying not to double dip. If I have it on DVD, it's good enough. But narrow margin, when I read the reviews of this is a brand new 4K scan. The sound is upgraded. All the reviews say this is the best this film has ever looked. You know I love Gene Hackman. I love Ann Archer. I love train thrillers. It was a no-brainer. And what was cool is this movie just came out. It was released like the week of the sale, so that was kind of neat to be able to catch it and get a good price for it. And like I said, I had to nab it when I could. Next up, okay, Elvis Clam Bake. This is a typical Elvis movie in the 60s, right? It co-stars Bill Bixby, who was in the TV series Hulk, Shelley Fabares, who had done other Elvis movie Spin Out, either Girls, Girls, Girls or Girl Happy. I think it was Girls, Girls, Girls. And in this, she was also the wife of Coach, Craig T. Nelson, in the TV show Coach. So you might recognize her from that. But anyways, like I said, a typical Elvis movie from this period. But I love them. I love Elvis films. I love the campiness of them. And I think Elvis was a good actor. He knew himself. And you saw the Elvis episode that I did where I talked about all this. And I just enjoy his movies. What's neat about this is most of my Elvis films were on DVD because I bought them when they originally came out. And, you know, I mean, how much better are you going to make these look? I've only double dipped with 2 Elvis movies, which is King Creole, which is my favorite Elvis movie, and then Viva Las Vegas, which is a great Elvis movie as well. And when I read the reviews of the restoration of that film, I had to do it. This one I've never owned. So when this came up under the sale, it was a no-brainer for me because, like I said, I love Elvis movies. So looking forward to seeing this one in high definition. All right, the next one, The Flesh and the Fiend, starring Peter Cushing. A lot of you guys know who Peter Cushing is from Star Wars. You know, Grand Moff Tarkin. Did a lot of horror films. He did horror films as Dr. Frankenstein, but with a company called Hammer. And this is not a Hammer film, but it is one of those kind of horror type thriller films that he did. He's a teacher in this. And then there's some twists and turns. It's kind of, you know what it feels like to me? It's kind of a Jack the Ripper type feel to it. That's just my own opinion. I'll rewatch it and see if I maybe think differently. But what's neat about this version is it has 2 different versions. It has the European version, which is probably about 20 minutes longer than the US version, because the European version had nudity in it, which is very rare for this period of time. Would not be allowed to be shown in the U.S. And there's some other violent scenes, I think, and stuff like that was taken out. So to be able to see how the U.S. audiences saw it, and then the way that the European audiences and the British audiences got to see it, will be neat to see both versions. And it'll be cool to see which one I've already seen of it. But we'll see. Anyways, this one, I don't know if I mentioned or not, but this was another one that just came out. Like Narrow Margin, and it popped up, and every time I was going through a list, it kept popping up, and I had to buy it. It was a no-brainer. And one of the things I didn't talk about was that there are movies that I want to get through Kino, but if they don't pass the audio and visual the way I want, I'm not going to do it, especially if it comes to a movie. Because there was a few movies in my cart that I really want, and a couple more double dips. But when I read a little bit more about the reviews, it just makes me feel like there's a better version down the road. So, you know, I ended up putting those in the save, you know, list, the wish list, if you will, and moved on to some of these ones I have never seen before because, you know, when you get a good grade of video and a good grade of audio, especially with these older films, it's really exciting to, like I said, once again, be able to go watch and relive them. All right. Next up, Paris Blues, Paul Newman, Joanne Woodward, Sidney Poitier, and the jazz player Louis Armstrong, although I think he's only in a little part. But this is a blind buy for me. I've seen this movie several times, just floating there going, buy me, buy me. It is on the way out of print. So I was able to get it at a really good price in this sale. And so I thought it was perfect timing. Tyler loves Paul Newman, so he'll be watching this with me. But I guess they're jazz players, and there's a a side story, of course, to it. And I'm looking forward to seeing it. You can't go wrong with a great acting cast. I mean, you just can't. It doesn't matter. They are three heavyweight actors, and you put them together, it should be a great film. All right, next up, Gene Hackman, William Dafoe, Mississippi Burning. In class, we are working on period pieces and understanding a different time and understanding different thinking, right, wrong, or indifferent. And I think a lot of the reasons that we are where we're at is because of the mistakes we've made, but also the things that we've done right and we've learned from to get us to being the best country there is. And Mississippi Burning is a period piece during the civil rights movement, and it does touch on subject matter that is very hard at times to watch, but it's important to understand that a different period of time, people behaved differently, and to me, that's what makes this movie a really important piece of film history. Beyond the acting being really strong, the story is really strong, and it really brings home this point in our history. And it's an important movie to watch today, if you haven't seen it. I really believe that. But if you like these actors, and this is my second Gene Hackman in the pile, and interested in a really good movie, you need to watch this, because like I said, it is excellent. Oh, and by the way, I was shocked when I was going through my stuff, that I'd never owned this movie. I didn't have it on DVD or anything. I was absolutely shocked. So I was glad to be able to get it during the sale, because I've been wanting to get it for years, and I can't believe I never bought it. Anyways, moving on. Walter Matthau, Charlie Varrick. This was directed by Don Siegel. Don Siegel had done Dirty Harry in '71, and Charlie Varrick was kind of his next cop-like thriller in '73. And a lot of people say this is as good, if not better, than Dirty Harry. I don't know if that's the case, because I really, really love Dirty Harry. But I love Walter Matthau as an actor. I like Don Siegel's movies. This looks very good, like a very good film to me. And I've been waiting and waiting and waiting to get this. This is a blind buy for me. It's the second blind buy out of the group. But I've been waiting and waiting and waiting, and finally the price got to where I want it to be. So I got it in this group, and I'm really excited to sit down and watch this. All right, down to our last couple here. Burt Reynolds, Jill Clayburgh, and Chris Christopherson in Semi-Tough. Yes, this is a football movie, but no, it's not a football movie. It's a romance movie. It's a love triangle movie with football tight end. Carl Weathers is also in this as one of the football players on the other team, as a rival to Burt Reynolds. I don't know if you guys know this. Burt Reynolds played college football and was very successful, and that's why a lot of his early movies, like Semi-Tough, The Longest Yard, he plays a football player. But then he has also those car chase movies like Smokey and the Bandit, The Cannonball Run, White Lightning, etc. He had, we always are talking about formulas. Burt Reynolds had a formula, and he sold it. And I'm a big fan of his films. I like a lot of them, and it's good to start seeing these at good prices where I can start collecting some of these older films that I've never owned. I love Jill Clayburgh in this period of time. In this, Silver Streak, she is awesome. She is beautiful. She's fun. She's got a great personality, and it just makes for a really good film. All right, last in our group, Burt Lancaster, Kirk Douglas. First time that they are together, I Walk Alone. Also with Elizabeth Scott. This is a film noir. It's another blind buy for me. I don't buy too many blind buys with Blu-rays unless they get really, really good reviews, or it's a subject matter or genre I really like. But you don't build this collection by knowing everything. You have to blind buy and take risks in order to build a collection of good films. I'm a big fan of the genre of film noirs. I'm a big fan of these actors. And after reading the reviews of this film, for me, it was a no-brainer. I had to get it. I had to give it a shot. I wanted to give, I want to see what this looks like. So looking forward to this one, getting in the Blu-ray player and being able to watch it. This is the first of many Kurt Russell and Burt Reynolds, Burt Lancaster movies that they did together, should be great. Anyways, that is the group I got for this buy, and I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of them. So not a bad haul for this time around. And one thing I want to show you that's really cool about Kino as well is their spines are all the same. They're just this black spine with the white writing. It's simple, it's good, it's solid, and it's easy for me to categorize them. I just do it alphabetically with my criterions, because on the cover they put the date of the year of the release of the film. I just do my criterions chronologically by release date. But these, I do them alphabetically because they're easy to find, because the spines are all the same, and then I just do them alphabetically. So there is a method to the madness when you see all of this stuff, but that's how I do those. So anyways, I thought that this was like I said, a good change up to, what we've been doing. We'll get back to 2012 tomorrow. If you do have any questions about these older movies, or where to start when you want to watch them, or which companies are the best to start buying from, and that kind of stuff, don't hesitate to reach out. That's what I'm here for. And if you're in class, we can discuss some of these in class, and that's part of the fun of doing this. So anyways, I hope you guys have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow with 2012. See you then.